Okay, so I am interviewing Bianca Ariozola. She is the principal here at Georgia Sanchez Charter School, and we're going to be discussing the campus vision. So, first question: does our campus have a written vision statement?
It does. We do. We have one in our campus improvement plan, and it is something that we discuss during the summer, at the beginning of the school year, and then throughout the year. It's a living document. And so we basically try to embed it in our objectives or have our objectives match our mission and vision.
Okay. Now, when were you first introduced to the campus vision statement?
When I was a teacher facilitator. When I was a teacher, I don't think I quite understood. I was trying to get my feet wet and understand teaching in general. And then when I became a teacher facilitator, which was a coach, I started understanding that there was more to it. I started seeing the umbrella above it. And so I realized that there was a purpose behind the lesson plans, behind the assessments, behind the POCs. And so when it all tied together, I realized that there was a vision and a mission to be followed, and there was a purpose for it all.
Okay. Now, were you involved in the development of the revision of our campus vision statement?
So it's interesting you bring that up because when we opened up this campus, we were given the opportunity to create our own vision. And so I was involved. I involved the teachers I currently had. And then every year we revamp it. Last year we revamped it with our department chairs. And we basically looked at where we started, where we've come from, where we've come to, or where we are now. And then we looked at the district one as well so that we could align our vision to the district vision as well.
Okay. And how is our campus vision statement different from the districts?
We're a little bit different in that we serve different grade levels and that we're still in growing status. And so we hadn't focused yet on the whole college and career. We were aiming at that. There wasn't such a strong focus to that. But now that we have 9th and 10th grade, now we're putting more emphasis on the college and the career pathways, endorsements, and so forth. But it's very aligned. It's just a little bit more targeted in that we're more flexible and that we bring in more of the community members and more of the parent involvement into it.
Was the district's vision statement, did it serve as a foundation for developing the one for the campus?
Oh, it definitely did. You have to align. I mean, it's not that it's forced, but it's one of those things that it has to basically mimic it, or at least be the baby to it. You know, it's a district vision and mission, and so as a campus, we're here to service our community, but it's based on foundation, which is them, right? They're our foundation.
Okay. And who do you feel should be involved in reviewing or developing a written campus vision statement?
I think it should be everybody. I think it should be all stakeholders. I think it should be community members, parents, teachers. It could be new teachers. It could be lead teachers. It should be your administrators, your principals, and your deans as well, and your counselors. I think everybody that can be part of it should be part of it. And it should even have students as well.
What benefits do you think they can provide by?
Just everybody has different inputs, right? Everyone is part of the school, of the organization, so everybody should be able to provide feedback. What works for them, what doesn't work for them. Where do they see our school going? Because our students are what makes up our school, but the teachers are the leaders of the school. So I think everybody should be part of it.
And do you think that the development of a campus vision is a shared responsibility, and who shares that responsibility?
I definitely think it's a shared responsibility because one person can't lead the pack. It has to be everybody. Like I said, all stakeholders have to be involved because somehow everybody has some type of contribution. And so if there's only buy-in from one, then it's not going to move the needle forward. So there has to be buy-in from all stakeholders for it to be able to move forward.
Okay. And having read the vision statement, what does it mean?
What does it mean to you? We just talked about it. So the vision for us is basically, I think one of the verbiage, right? The biggest thing for me is growth. Growth of our students. Our students are coming in and they are basically falling in between the cracks at regular school districts, or they're basically not getting their needs met just because there's so many students. And so for us, it's individualized attention, targeted interventions, and making sure that we grow them, we catch them up to grade level, grow them, and then make them successful either in a career pathway or a college pathway, so that when they get out of here, they're citizens that can give back. They can always come back and tutor or become beyond what they expected when they first came in here.
Okay. And do you know where a student, faculty member, or parent could get a copy of our written vision statement?
So we have it. I mean, our department chairs have it, our teachers have it, and we have it, and there it should be posted up in every classroom as well. So yes, and in that, just in the entrance, walk into the entrance, our admin assistant will have a copy for you.
Okay. And how does the campus use innovative thinking as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
So we never close the doors on the innovative thinking. When it comes to our curriculum, we're not cookie cutter. We do have a scope and a sequence, but we do not force our teachers to teach a certain way. We also have our attendance and our truancy and our tutorials that are very different. Like I said, it's not a cookie cutter. It basically fits the needs of our students. And so we're flexible with our timing, where if a student needs tutorials after school, we'll stay those extra hours. If we need Saturday tutorials, we will do Saturday tutorials. If we need summer school and enrichment programs, we'll do that. And so the innovative thinking basically is hearing out what plans the teachers have and what we can execute for the benefit of the students.
And specifically considering our school and community, do you feel that the vision statement sufficiently addresses the challenges that our campus faces, and how?
I think it evolves every year. I mean, for a couple of years, we've had the same vision and mission, but I think it addresses in that as we grow, it changes. So there's a different need. We see the different type of need based on, like, is the student showing progress while they're with us? If they're not showing progress as a group, then what is it that we're not doing, and where should we focus our vision? I think we're also keeping up to date in what's happening outside. We're realizing that maybe not all students are ready to go to college, so that's why we're building those career pathways. And so we're making those partnerships and staying in touch with what is happening in the community, what is happening with our kids' interests, and aligning that. So I think so.
So what are some of the challenges that are?
There we go.
What are some of the challenges that our campus is facing?
So our one of the challenges is maybe facilities. We're growing in facilities because we do not have the up-to-date maybe classrooms and so forth, just from aesthetics, right? I think we have what we need. Another challenge is professional development for our new teachers. We do have several new teachers, so getting them trained, it's getting them up to speed as to what the scope and sequence means, what the TEKS mean, how do you not only know it, but how do you plan to teach it without having the teacher be the one that's talking for 45 minutes? How do you get them to understand and apply the different instructional strategies? And then how do you get them to dissect data? Data's not easy. And so you need to understand your data, and you need to understand your kid to be able to meet their needs. And so that's one of our areas of growth, right? And it's not done in 1 year. You need to retain your teachers more than a year, 2-3 years, so that they become masters in that data disaggregation and meeting the student needs as well.
Okay. And how do you get teachers and students to buy into the campus vision, and how do you reinforce the campus vision?
I think the way you get buy-in is by bringing them into the conversations for the needs, right? First, we start off with what does the community need? What do the stakeholders say they need? What do they feel they need? And then that's how you start creating the vision and mission with them, alongside of them. And so they start realizing and seeing that you're hearing them and that you're applying or implementing as much as you can. You cannot always make everybody happy, but they start realizing that whatever you're putting in place when your vision is basically aligned to their needs, and there is a purpose behind it that is going to make them successful, that we're in here to make our kids better and the community in general.
And how do you think they respond to that?
I think our numbers show it all. We started off here in the north side with 26 students, and we're now hitting close to 300 students. So I think the community is getting to know that what we're doing is something great for the community and for our students. And so where I see the positive pieces is that our kids are growing, maturing, and they're already thinking beyond the high school years. They're thinking about college and career.
Okay. And do you feel that our written vision statement is inclusive and characterized by respect for students, their families, and community partnerships, and how?
I think it is inclusive of all. I think it'll be. We need to focus a little bit more on community partnerships. We do talk about them, but I do think it is something that we are working on and involving a little bit more of partnerships such as HCC, Lone Star, other programs that deal more with social emotional kind of like Depelchin and Vecino. But what other programs can we tap into that can come to our campus and support not only our students but our families as well?
And how can you assist with the stewardship of our vision? So getting everybody else to into the minds and hearts of our entire school community.
I think it's something that needs to be presented and communicated frequently. I don't think I do a good job of presenting it as frequently as I should. I know I talk about these are our goals, these are our objectives, but maybe I need to put myself back into my teacher's shoes, right? When I was a teacher, why did I not know too much about it? Yes, I knew there was a vision and mission for the district, but what was the vision of our school, right? Our campus, and how did it align to the district? I think it's something that I need to maybe talk to our dean, to our department chairs, and ask them, how much do your teachers know about our vision? Can they talk about it? And if so, not so much just memorize it, but do they understand it? And then bring it down to our students and families, right? Do our students understand our vision and our purpose? So.
And are there resources available that can help with share our vision with others?
I think there's definitely resources. I mean, you could definitely, there's social media, there's, I guess, any YouTube, anything that has to do with technology nowadays, it can, right, share it. There's also newsletters. There's, I mean, just making those network partnerships and so forth where you can share this is what this is ALMA, right, this organization, this is the district, and this is our campus, this is what we're doing.
And where do you see the campus vision evolving to in the years to come?
I see it evolving from basically it's not so much a baby school anymore. Now we're a school where you know you're going to this school because you're going to grow. It does not matter if you're 3 grade levels behind. It does not matter if you're a GT student and you're just looking for AP courses. You know that if you come to this school, you're expected to be driven above and beyond. That you're going to go through middle school and already be thinking about high school, getting high school credits, and that you're going to get into high school and you're already going to know that even if you're going to go into a cluster, a career cluster, it does not mean that we're not going to get you ready for college. You're going to have that option. You're going to have certificates and you'll be ready and more prepared than you ever thought you would be.
That's it.
That was fast.